And we are live.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome
Hello,
to
hello, everyone. Okay.
this podcast called Welcome to Your Journey.
Yeah.
I have like something over here.
So we're doing our chakra mini series today, and we are at the Sacral Chakra, which is one of the master chakras of all the energy centers. So
Wait a second. I'm hearing a background noise. Is someone's. Oh, I know what it is. I think it's me.
you hear a background? I don't hear a background.
Yes, I
Hello?
hear a background. Is someone's YouTube? Are your YouTube open?
Nope, but nothing's open. I'll shut everything down, but nothing's open.
1 second, guys. Little technical difficulties.
I can, are you here? Can you like?
Oh, better.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope. It's the
No.
same thing. There's something going on over here.
Are you on something else? Hi, Orna. And Lynn.
Let's.
Hey, Lori. We're having a little technical difficulty. We will. Oh, my light is in the fucking screen. It's all good.
This is going to drive me crazy because I hear you twice.
Oh.
I hear you twice. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
Are you on YouTube somewhere else?
I'm looking right now. I don't see anything.
Nothing is open in your tabs?
I'm going to
Mercury retrograde, 1000%, Orna. We've been glitching like crazy yesterday.
Oh, maybe it's. Oh, I think I found it. I found it, guys. I found it. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Welcome to your journey.
We're
is
2 locations today. Yes.
3 locations. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Orna. Hi, Lori. So yes, sorry about that. That was my fault. So yes, continue, Sabrina. Continue. So actually, start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning.
Welcome to Sacral. Welcome to this mini chakra series. We're going to be doing Sacral Chakra, which is one of the very important chakras in our body. I know that from a lot of what?
I have a microphone. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just super excited right now.
Hi, Catherine. It's a very important chakra. And I know that from my clients because a lot of them have blocked chakras, people.
And we'll talk about what that means in the next couple of minutes.
So continue.
Well, me or you?
Whatever. You want me to continue? We wanted to talk about why we're doing these. Well, my groceries is calling me. 1 second. Okay, you continue.
So basically, let me put up our fancy schmancy, our smanchy little slides over here. So yes, well, let's talk about the quote and why we chose the quote, because we ended up doing a bunch of little quotes, and this is the one that stuck out the most for the sacral chakra. And it was Sabrina that was like, yes, this is the one, this is it, this is the one we're gonna do. And we're gonna get to why we decided to do these mini series. We've done a couple of them, but this one's very specific. There's a very specific reason why we decided to do the chakra series, and we'll get to that in a bit once we get to the content. And so Sabrina, can you read us a quote and tell us?
I'll read you the quote from my Alan Watts, which a lot of you know this. Hi, Kim. Sexual energy is a sacrament of the universe. It is a way of experiencing the creative force of the cosmos. When we make love, we are becoming one with the mystery that is the universe. So we picked this one together because there is this very in the distortion. There is of this matrix world that we're living in. There is this very ominous view of sexuality, right? So this one, I felt like we are connected to our sexuality is connected to the universe, connected to the cosmos. It's not this promiscuous. It's not this like bad or very low density. What is that? What is the word I'm looking for? Principle or value or whatever. But it's this like, it's energy,
Ratchet.
I guess, energy. It's sacred. And I love that he brought this to us with this like merging of the sacral chakra with the universe. And that's what we are. We are sacred sexual beings. And it's like, we're going to talk a lot about this. This is going to be an exciting episode because there's so much to tap into. There's so much of the guilt, the shame, like that's stored in the sacral chakra. So, wow.
So many misconceptions. And we're going to dive into the whole unity and why sexual energy, just sensual energy, it's an energy that creates worlds. I mean, it creates babies, which is a universe in itself, right? And that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of this type of energy. It's the ultimate energy. It's the one that has created us all, right? So if we can, what I loved a lot about this quote in itself is that it brings out this whole religious aspect, the ones that Christianity has completely deemed taboo. Meanwhile, he brings it out as, no, it is a sacrament of the universe. It is the way we actually connect with the universe through this ritual, like almost in a ritual way. But the fact that he used sacrament, which is a very religious word, to me was like beautiful. To me was, yes, let's bring the beauty and the sacredness back into sensual energy, because it is sacred. Like Sabrina was saying, it is extremely sacred. And we're going to get to the more details of it. I love how Lynn is like, raise his hands. Yes, let's raise our hands.
What do you have? Do you have a question, Lynn? Raise his hand.
Give that to him. But let's dive right into it. So in the contents, we're going to talk about why we're doing this series, which we're going to talk about right now, actually. The reason why we initially wanted to do this series, actually, Sabrina brought it up last week, is that we wanted to give you the tools that you need to help you free yourself. And the chakras in itself have already so much information out there. And each chakra system is connected to not only your physical being, but your emotional being and your mental beings. Like they're connected to it all. So it's easier for us to just organize and structure it in a way that is comprehensive. And then you have also this beautiful, the chakras is such a beautiful, not necessarily metaphor, but it's almost like art to me. It's gotten a huge boom in these last couple of years. So a lot of people already understand and already know the concept somewhat. So it's easy to dive into these principles and really show you the different dynamics and the different ways that you can use these energy centers, which is just energy points that are literally on your spinal cord, which your spinal cord is just an antenna. And these knots are generated, like this energy is generated by the knots of the different nerves that are set into your spine. And science has actually shown that these energy centers exist. Like these nerve endings come to these specific areas. So last week we did the base chakra, which is right at the perineum, which is right at the tip of the spine. This time we're doing the sacral chakra, which is all the nerves endings go right underneath the belly button, which we will see it's controlled, or it's not necessarily controlled, but it is the nerve endings of all your sexual organs. And some you will even see that it's connected to the kidneys, which a lot of Chinese medicine talks about it being where a lot of your jing is, where a lot of your energetic qi, your energetic life force is. We'll get to that. And where was I going with this? So basically, we can dive in deep to all of these different energy points without it being too overwhelming. And it's fun at this point because it's fun to see how science is not proving anything new, because ancient wisdom has already known this. We already know it. This is innate within us. This is innate information that is within us that we can choose to use, we can choose to tap into, or we can ignore and kind of like be oblivious to it. Either or, it's fine. But for those who are choosing to be more aware and choosing to step into this conscious reality, this consciousness that is them, this soul that has been trying to call upon them or just connect with them. This is the reason why we're doing these series, because by you having the tools, we love being your guides. Amen to that. I will be your guide whenever you need. Sabrina, I'm sure she is on the same page as me. And on the same time, we love seeing you guys do it on your own to really expand and really use these tools without us. Like, we love being your guides, but on the same time, we love seeing you set yourself free. And this is why we're doing this series right now. Anyways, so with that said, we're going to also talk about what is the sacral chakra, the symbolisms of the 6 petals and lotus, because it's just fun. It's just really interesting to see how the ancient wisdom has like identified and has created these beautiful, beautiful works of art. The symbolism of the color orange, which I didn't even know until I started looking into it, which I found amazing. Sabrina's going to be talking about that. We're going to explore the Kundalini. Sabrina's going to be talking about that too. We had a little rundown before, and it was like beautiful. We're going to talk about the sacred sacral chakra. How do you know it's balanced, unbalanced, and how do you know if it's blocked? And then the flow practices, the different things you can use to actually unblock yourself or tap into this energy or this frequency. And then we're going to talk about the holistic correspondence, like we did last week with the base chakra. And then we're going to do, as per the last lives, we're going to be doing the pendulum and Reiki activations, which is, I think, one of my favorite. It's my favorite part. I feel like this whole series is based and designed so we could actually do these pendulum and Reiki activations for you. And this will be good for you right now or when you're rewatching the video. And then we're just going to overview the throat chakra, which will be our next episode. So any questions so far?
Before we get out of this content, I want to bring this up because we do the pendulum and the Reiki activation. And what I've been noticing with you guys and with other with all the clients that we do these activations with, this is energy that is being released and unblocked. So if you're participating in it, even if you're watching it as a recorded version, you will experience this activation. And people are coming like days later saying, "Oh my God, Sabrina, like I'm in the eye of the storm," or "I'm here." And I'm like, yes, because we are releasing this and they're powerful. I have to tell you that. So like, listen to them more than once. If you want to, you can listen to them every day, but not every day.
And it doesn't end. Energy work never ends at the session. It continues. It's a ripple effect. So you ripple in this energy, this activation, this Reiki, just love bombing goes into your body. It goes to the core of it, and then it ripples off. And it will continue maybe for the next 28 days, maybe for the next month. I know for me in my energy work, it usually continues for a full cycle. So a full month, I go usually with the moon cycle because it's the easiest cycle to follow. But generally speaking, it continues. It's not only after the activation.
Also, it could last for years too, but like that's another thing. Yeah, it's okay. All right, let's go. Let's start. Sabrina's impatient. Let's do this. What's impatience? Where am I blocked? Okay.
Is it impatient or you just like need to get your loofah?
I'm excited. I'm like overactive sacral chakra.
Perfect. So what is a sacral chakra? The Svadhisthana. I didn't go. Sabrina, I've been the one talking since before. Your turn.
Okay. What is the sacral chakra? It's the second chakra, which like we always say that we talk about like in the everyday life, we talk about 7 chakras, but I think there's like 100,
over 100.
Over 144. There's 100 chakras, right?
But we talk about the main ones.
The main chakras within the physical vessel.
Yeah.
Sacral is the second chakra. It's located below the belly button, like Katarina said at the beginning. And it's the one where it's all about self-expression. It's all about creativity. It's all about sexuality, sensuality. It's our sacred expression. To me, like the sacral chakra is coming up a lot in people because of all this, all that we've learned from our families, from our religions, from our for everything, a whole society. And now it's coming up, and we're battling with it. This is like conflict. It's right below the belly button, right? And creativity is like so sacred that's been shunned for so many years. Anyway, we're going to talk about that like further in more extensive, but it's really about how we can feel good about expressing ourselves creatively, sexually, blah, blah, blah. I feel like there's so much shame. There's so much shame placed on us, and like blame and all that it's really challenging for any divine feminine to like fully express themselves. And this is us trying to unblock this, and this trying to like help you recognize this, right? That's what it is. I think the sacral chakra, we can go on and on, but we're going to go on and on with our other slides. So this is the basic.
Absolutely. I absolutely love everything you said. I want to add also that a lot of people call this the seat of it's basically the seat of where your soul resides. And I do believe it's because this sexual energy is what created us in the first place, right? So this sexual energy has created not only planets and worlds, but has created every single individual. And we've come to a place where we've shunned it, we've denied it, it's like what Sabrina says, it's this creative energy. Sensuality is just creative energy in expression, the expression of creativity. And I've come to realize recently how if there is some kind of shame or guilt related to sexual energy, then there's some kind of fear or guilt and shame in self-expression. Because if you're not happy, if you're not able to really fully be in that sensual energy, and that doesn't mean sex necessarily, that doesn't mean that per se, that's not the end goal, but it's really the self-expression. So
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk
very
about
nice.
That. Very,
so when we go to the next slide, Sabrina is running in and out. I love you guys though.
You're going to get your loofah? Okay, so once again, Mercury retrograde has done it again, but here we are. So I'm going to talk about the symbolisms while she goes get her loofah. So the symbolisms of the six-petaled the sacral lotus. So number one is called Svadhisthana, which, if you translate it, is where your being is established. So as I was saying before, it's the seat of the soul. It's how our energies, how our energetic beings, our soul came into this 3D reality, right? And what I found really interesting is that each petal represents an emotion we must overcome to really become centered. So here they talk about how one petal is anger, the other one is hatred, the other one is jealousy, cruelty, desire, and pride. So we all know what these emotions can actually do to us. If we act out of rage, or we act out of hatred, or act out of jealousy, well, we can literally destroy and burn the city down, right? And that's not necessarily what we're here to do. So a lot of these ancient wisdoms actually talk about how we generate these emotions so we can learn how to, one, better control ourselves, to learn to love ourselves that much deeper, right? Because it goes back to everything that we were saying. Whatever comes up is, generally speaking, an opportunity for us to love us even more. If we're angry, it's because there's a part of ourselves that we don't love, or a part of the society or the physical reality that we're not actually enjoying. But everything is just a mirror of ourselves. So there's a part of us in that we don't really like. And then after that, within the six-petal lotus, and the lotus in itself is already a beautiful, I think most of you already know what it represents. The lotus flower, it grows out of the mud, right? Out of the mucky muds to then become this beautiful flower. So that's why it's been represented in so many traditions, especially in India, because it's just an incredible metaphor of no matter what happens to you, no matter what you go through, whatever challenges. Hello, welcome back. That was fast.
Yeah.
No matter what happens to you, no matter what muddy, even if you can't see the even if there's the challenges are preventing you from seeing the bigger picture, you will blossom into this lotus, right? So just the lotus in itself is just a beautiful metaphor. And then the circle in the crescent moon represents the natural cycles that we have, one of life, one of the moon, and one of death and rebirth. And this is the beauty of, this is true even for sexual energy, sensual energy. You have the creation of a sexual energy, which is the intimacy part. Then it hits its peak, but then you have to let it go. The sensual energy, some would call it, what's it called? I want to say crescendo, but it's like the ecstasy. After you have
orgasm.
Orgasm or ecstasy, you need to let it go. It needs to come back down into its natural cycle of life for it to start again, right? And then the moon in itself is connected to the water, and this is where the sacral chakra, its element is water. And this
Hello,
teaches
Grace. Sorry.
Hello, Grace. And this is to teach us to go with the flow, to be more fluid with life and adaptable like water, and to grab every single opportunity that life has to offer us, right? So not to hold anything one personal, but also to just go with the flow. Go with the flow of life, of like be like water, just like what Bruce Lee used to say. Be like water.
Hey, Terry.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, let's see what are you guys writing? I'm too tired to be angry. Hell yeah. Amen to that, Terry. I don't know why I can't trust. So strange. I was looking to be lotus seeds. I was looking to buy lotus seeds. Yes, there's no coincidences in life.
It's challenging to trust, but it's
a big part of life.
Letting go and detaching everything. It's just allowing things to be in stillness. Just allow things to be. Anyways, I can't believe Australia, 6 o'clock in the morning. Good.
Hello, Grace from Australia. But yeah, like trusting is part of, I believe, what we came here and reincarnated to do. Part of it. It's learning how to love ourselves that much deeper and learning how to trust. Because without trust, there's nothing, I don't believe. Yeah, I agree. Lotus flower. Lotus flowers are awesome. Okay, next slide. So we're going to talk about the symbolism of the color, which I found fascinating when I was looking into it. So I'll let Sabrina talk this one through.
Orange, by the way, is the happiest color in all of the color wheel. And which sacral chakra, I don't know if we even discussed this, but it's all about happiness and joy and vitality. It's when you're in a really shitty mood that your sacral chakra is blocked. You know, when you're moody and your sacral. So wearing orange is such a, it'll immediately put you in a good mood if you just look at orange. The Pantone color of the 2024 for fall is rust. It's orange. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, little fashion note here.
Which I love that color. It's a great color. It grounds me, that color.
It grounds you.
Yeah, I feel like it grounds me.
Orange is not grounding at all.
I find it grounds me. It reminds me of earth rust. So like that color, earthy, like orangey earth. Anyways, that's just me.
Yeah, it's okay because you're a Scorpio. So that's what it is.
What does that mean? Anyways,
it doesn't matter. We're talking about so the first thing is color fusion, which is interesting. It's like the root chakra. Last week we talked about the base chakra is red, and right up, which is below the spine and at the spine, but that's where, like at the legs, whatever.
The tip of the spine. The tip of the spine.
Yeah,
and then
the solar plexus, which is right here where the stomach is, kind of, is yellow. So right between, like if you mix red and yellow together, makes orange. But it's like, and I love that we brought up what?
Because for me it makes sense. Because for me, yellow. I mean, water element is blue. Why isn't it blue? In my head, I was always like, why isn't it blue? But then that made so much sense. This whole red base and then yellow. Solar plexus.
It's blue because of the reflection. It's not blue. Water is not blue, right? Water.
No, but for some reason, for me, I always associated it with blue. But this makes sense
because
to
we
me now.
see it as blue. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And the only reason we see it as orange is because of we're taught it's like reflection off the water, the red and the yellow, and it makes the sunrise as orange. It's really cool that, and the water, the element of orange is water. So I love that. I love that like analogy. It's so beautiful. And also, orange is about consciousness, us awakening into this on this journey. So
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense that it would be in the orange in the sacral chakra, because I'm going to talk about it, the Kundalini, after. It's all the coil of energy is at the base of the sacral chakra. So as you awaken, your orange coil of energy starts to rise. It's really beautiful. And also it's all about creativity. It's all about joy. It's happiness. Like I said, like if you're a lot of us have been shunned, like, oh, you're just a creative, oh, you're just an artist, oh, you're just a gardener, you're just like, it's just like always like, oh, okay, you can't make money like that. So it blocks our joy, it blocks our happiness. We're like constantly trying to find something outside of us that is not aligned with us. And that's why the sacral chakra, releasing that part of us is so imperative, because it completely, I feel like it would completely open us up all the other energy centers. Like the root starts it, but to me the sacral is everything. So wear color orange, eat orange. It changes everything.
100%. Yes. You'll see it right away when you start looking at orange.
Sedona.
Your mood just changed. And I love how, like what you said about raising consciousness, like the symbolism of this it looks like the sunrise. So the sunrise is something coming to light. It's the awakening moment of like, oh, after darkness comes light, right? It's darkest right before dawn. So it's just this beautiful metaphor and this beautiful realization that you are the sun. That is,
we are everything.
Becoming more and more conscious. Exactly, that you are everything at the end of the day.
So that's like cool.
Ooh, yeah. So now balanced, unbalanced.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
So what is like a balance? Because a balance, Orna says when she goes to a massage, the lady does her massage, she puts the pendulum over to see if the chakras are open. Yes, of course. And that's what the pendulum is there for. But it's also, you can also figure out if your pendulum is closed by, this is why we do these podcasts, these lives, because we want you to be able to do this on your own. You can put your hand and visualize like your sacral chakra and ask, are you like, what am I feeling right now? Like a balanced one is you're emotionally stable, you're in a great mood, you're feeling creative, like there's all this, like you feel like, what is active imagination, you're like, and a blocked one is you feel numb, which a lot of people feel. Does this have anything to do?
Yeah, so your physical aspects will show you a lot about what's going on within your body, what's going on within this center in particular. And just to give you an idea that what does it mean, a chakra that's blocked or that's like balanced or unbalanced? Just think of it like this. An energy center that's blocked or unbalanced just means that it's or there's too much energy going in it, or there's not enough energy going in it, right? These are energy centers, so they work through the influx of energy going in and out. So balance means that there's the equal amount of energy going within the center and without the center. Unbalanced, blocked, means there's not enough energy going within the center, and this could be physically you're blocked because you had a trauma. So this trauma literally blocked this energy center, and it could have been something as intense as maybe like a sexual trauma, or it could be just something like, oh, you didn't feel safe enough to express yourself at that moment, so you blocked out that energy center, which would then stop your creative flow, lack of passion, lack of motivation, as we see it here on this slide. And overreactive means that there's just too much energy going in it, and it doesn't know where else to go, because maybe even your heart center or your neck center is blocked, so it stays in that center and doesn't know where it can actually escape to. So then you would have overly emotional states or mood swings, or overindulging, as she wrote, as we have it over here on the slide. So
you're easily triggered.
Exactly.
That's a big one.
Exactly. Yeah. And it just goes to show, okay, these centers are connected to not only my sexual energy, but connected to my self-expression. Where is it in my environment do I not feel safe enough to express myself, or safe enough to express joy or happiness? A lot of us have walked on eggshells for such a big part of our lives, especially when we're younger, right?
Mhm.
I know my generation has,
My
especially like for
goodness.
immigrants, like I was just talking about how my father could be very stubborn, and this could be great because he recently had a heart attack, and I do believe that this was something that helped him, his stubbornness. But then when you're stubborn on something small, like being late, and then you're pressuring other people to get dressed when you're a kid, this could be very traumatizing. It could be very emotionally triggering, right? Anyways, I think you understand what I'm going at with this.
Yeah.
But yes, just to clarify, balanced and unbalanced.
Yeah, but I want to talk about, because I want to bring up what I did some research. When I do my pendulum activation, I go into the possible ailments, and I want to bring this up because it's important that you, maybe if you can resonate with them when we're doing the activation, like I'll just clarify kind of some of the issues, like physical. It's reproductive, right? It could be if you struggle with infertility or menstrual problems. A lot of us have irregular cycles, and then we don't know why, and we think it's something else, but it's your sacral chakra that's being blocked because of, like she said, a sexual trauma that you had. And sexual trauma doesn't have to be that. It could be anything that you wanted to even express yourself, or you wanted to ask your parents about something and they're like, shut you down. They said, no, like, well, you can't talk about this. That it could be just as like
as
that,
yeah.
as like a more violent as well.
Yeah.
But that's what's coming up. And there's a IBS, right? Not IBS, UTIs, urinary tract infections, bladder, it's all there. Lower back pain, people. I know a lot of people are suffering from that. Like when you have chronic pain and stiffness, it's part of the sacral chakra. Hip and pelvic pain, which a lot of women, this is discomfort. Like it's a lot of what we're experiencing, and we don't realize. And digestive issues as well. The solar plexus is that, but it's the lower abdomen, kidney, and spleen.
Lori is asking if this has anything to do with Kundalini. It could be one of the reasons these blockages or these physical ailments that Sabrina are talking about. It could prevent this Kundalini, this coiling, this energetic serpent that we will talk about, to actually rise up. And sometimes it could stay stuck there, and it could be one of the reasons why we're in so much pain. It's because the energy doesn't have a place to go, right? Could be one of the possibilities, but it doesn't mean it's that. Anyways, yes, continue.
But like the Kundalini is the awakening. It's that awakening moment, which a lot of us have gone through or haven't gone through yet, whatever. But it's that moment that it's starting to rise within you, and it has nowhere to go because you're all blocked everywhere. And this is why we're talking about this, because it's like it's standing in the awareness and realizing, okay, that is blocking it, and like, anyways, we'll talk about Kundalini, but yes, everything is related. Everything is related.
I just want to add to that. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people prevent others to actually do any kind of Kundalini activations, or because now you have tantric yoga that is there to actually move this coiled serpent up. Because if you're blocked, well, it could be very traumatizing. A lot of people have actually faced very traumatic experience by raising this Kundalini, because one, they haven't actually not necessarily purified, but they haven't really looked within to really unblock all of what's been hurting or removed some of the suffering. Because the idea of this energy, you want it to come up in a joyful, free state, like Sabrina is saying. But if there's so much pain within your body, which is creating some of these blockages, and it doesn't have to be necessarily only in the sacral chakra, it could be anywhere else. But if you have any kind of pain or suffering that you're not actually facing, looking at yourself in the mirror so you can actually transmute it and let it go, well, then a lot of these experiences, this Kundalini experiences, regardless of where you're doing it, could be traumatic. And I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, what did you put here, Lynn?
And read it out.
Blocked for me is a complete lack of interest too, which is similar to lack of motivation. Yeah, 100%. The numbness. How many of us has I for one have felt numbness for a very long period of my life, and I never understood what it was. And it's because I was denying myself, I was self-loathing myself, which created this numbness for me. So yes, Lynn, 100%. I love what Terry is writing here. Yeah.
As you are explaining this, my heart feels like it's on fire. I had an incident with my uncle when I was 6, as my entire family was in the house and I was outside. Like that is
that's a transmuting right there. If your heart is on fire, it's because you're processing right now this information.
Exactly that.
Yeah. Which allow it and allow whatever emotions comes up to the surface so you can really be with it fully so it can be released out of your body. This is the whole point of us actually doing these series with you, to doing these is to have these moments where you have this fire to, and that's like, to me, sacral has always been fire, but it is considered like the water element. But for me, sexual energy is fire. It's this ultimate transmuting. It's anyways, sorry. Yeah. I cut you, Sabrina.
Don't be sorry. It's all good. Yeah, but if you like what Terry talked about is that affects us eventually, because it becomes like fear of intimacy, or we don't want to have, like, a lot of us are like, well, I'm not really interested in have sex anymore. I don't want that. It's because you've been what is the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, people? You've been
like fear of intimacy. What do you mean? Yeah. Like fear of actually expressing,
like someone who takes advantage of you. So you're feeling like
you're feeling guilt and shame, like allowing, or not necessarily allowing, but it's this feeling of being stabbed in the back, right?
Yeah, but you're also like
taking advantage of.
Yeah, whatever. And like it also affects you because you have a difficulty forming emotional connections. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't realize why, because this happened to you at 6 years old, it happened to you at 12 years old, it happened at 15. You know, it could be like, it's a lot of time it's within families. It could be even you're on a bus and someone like is touching you inappropriately, and it just triggers something inside you. And like, it's just like the slightest things. And this is like this is huge. And it's a lot of us don't want to speak about it, and we have a hard time expressing it because then we are marginalized. That's the word we're looking at. Marginalized, and we're like this. And this is that's why this topic is so important, because we need to be able to fully be comfortable with this topic of conversation, be comfortable with our sexuality. Sexuality has, like, we're going to talk about this in the next slide, but it's a deterrent for a lot of the divine feminine, has become like really a reason to be blocked. But we can continue. I want to continue with some of the things because it's like hitting the nail on the head here. Addictive behaviors, overindulgence and addiction to foods and drugs and alcohol and sex as well is part of this. Yeah. Compulsive behaviors related to seeking pleasure, escapism. I mean, I was reading this and I was crying because I was like, oh my God, so many of these things. Like, I was like, oh yeah, okay.
I want to just add to what Lynn was just saying. I just got chills over my whole body, helping you transmute. And sometimes that's all we need. We just need a safe space so all of this could come up to the surface and it can be released. And that's why we're here. And that's why this community is here as well. You don't even need to say anything. The whole point is that the person has a safe enough space to allow all of these emotions to come up to the surface and allow. And this is why, again, we're doing this series. If things are coming up, feel free, put it in the chat. Let's transmute it. Let's get it on fire so it could be re-energized.
Yeah, that's why we're
recycled.
That's why it's so, like she said, it's so important to fully express yourself.
Thank you for sharing.
We're transmuting energies always. And if you're talking to us, like even when you send it to me in my DMs, I am fully transmuting the energies for you. Like same, vice versa. It's like, that's how powerful you are. And that's a big part of the sacral chakra. It's the power within you as well as the solar, but it's that intimate power that we have disconnected from. So low self-worth is another thing that comes from the block sacral chakra, you know, feeling of unworthiness, feeling like you're not enough. And also a big one for me, raise your hand, difficulty to set healthy boundaries.
That's a big one for a lot of us, especially women, right? Because we're here nurturers. We think
Hey,
we need to be
Jenny.
nurturing everybody, but at the end of the day, we're not to our own detriment. And that's what the sacral chakra teaches us. This is what this energy point teaches us. You don't give yourself just to anybody. There are people that need to what's the word I'm looking for? That need to earn their place by your side or earn their place into interacting with you, because some people at the end of the day, they're not offering anything back. It's this healthy balance of give and take. That's the way I see it too. Hello, Jenny. You're never late. Nobody's ever late. We're always right on
Yeah,
time.
boundaries is a big one because, and especially when it comes to intimate relationships, like the sacral chakra has, and that's like where we have that inability to set those boundaries
Oh yeah.
because what?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. The amounts of times that I allowed somebody to guilt trip me into stuff, I'm just like, wow. And the self-loathing, because that's the thing. Once you don't set your boundaries and you let people do things that you don't necessarily want, you start hating yourself. You start self-loathing yourself. You start shaming yourself and guilt tripping yourself, and you don't even know why until you really realize, like, oh yeah, that's why I'm I'm feeling like this. This is it.
I want to highlight this thing. That is why we must block bad energy coming towards us. Now, that's a big thing because I know what Katarina and I think about this. Because any bad energy that is around you is something that is inside you. So it's not like anyone, and also everyone that comes in your life is part of your soul contract. You have, like, even if that uncle, Terry's uncle, had to come in her life at that moment when she was 6 years old, so that eventually later she would understand her power, she would understand her sexuality, or she would feel like lesser than. That's the bad energy around us. I would be able to stand in the awareness and see that energy in front of me and say, that's something I need to unblock within me, because eventually I won't feel that bad energy anymore because I am fully in love with all of it.
And that doesn't mean that we're excusing this kind of behavior. That's not
No.
what we're saying at all. On the contrary, it's nobody. I believe nobody should be going through any of that. However, I do agree that unfortunately, people, places, and things happen for a reason, even if we don't understand what that reason is at this very moment. And I do believe for a big part is so we understand our power and move beyond the victim state. And sometimes that could be difficult, and sometimes these are moments and situations that we need to go through to understand that we are above. We're not victims, but we are survivors, and we are survivors because we're divine beings that are here to transmute anything and absolutely everything. That's how motherfucking powerful we are, is that nothing's going to stop us in our tracks, not even these low lives or these like
But the low
moments.
life, anyways. Okay.
But you don't understand what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that this victim's mentality, we're here to go above it all because we are that powerful. And a lot of the times it's to show us our power, these moments, these situations in our life. And again, these are just our opinions. You might not agree with our opinions, and that's okay. We're here to show our part of you, our part in all of it, right? And then Jenny here is also saying parents are so guilty of doing it to us as well. And yes, and sometimes parents don't even know best, right? They don't even know what the hell they're doing a lot of the times. A lot of, like, I think of my parents lately and I'm like, they act like children. I feel like I'm talking to my niece and nephew sometimes in the way they're behaving. And at the end of the day, again, everything happens for a reason. Everything's there to teach us something, as long as we move above the victim state. Anyways, that's my speech.
Yeah, that's okay. We all see it differently. Like, to me, I see it as our soul contracts. Like, I chose this mother, and I chose this father, and I chose this sister, and I chose this brother, and I chose this bad, disgusting mother effer in front of me, and I chose them to come so that I could, like, fully awaken and become aware and say, oh my God, what the F was I thinking? Or why are they doing this to me all the time? It's not why are they doing this. They're doing it for a reason. And it's like, okay, pulled out the motherfucker. Yeah. So I don't know. This is like, this journey is all about us fully awakening, like the Kundalini awakens all that stuck energies. We're fully awakening to who we are, and we're souls in physical vessels living human experiences. And it's not to continue, because we don't want people shaming us. So it's not us blaming or shaming other people either, right? It's like a two-way street here. It's like fully loving everyone. And that's the journey. And the journey is ain't easy to learn and grow and evolve.
Yeah.
So,
a big
okay.
part of all that is us to learn how to love ourselves at a deeper level, right? Can we still love ourselves when we have been victimized in one way, shape, or form? Can we still love that part of ourselves that has been victimized? So me and Sabrina, we talked about this all in every episode almost. We're here to learn how to love ourselves, even the parts of ourselves that are deemed unlovable. And sometimes these victim states, these situations make us believe that we're unlovable, but it's not true. And that's why sometimes, not all the time, sometimes we go through it so we can learn to love ourselves even in those moments. So we rise above and we actually step into this power that is us. So transmuting, like she says, like the Kundalini, burning all of that shame down, burning all of that guilt down, and really becoming the best, really stepping into our soul and our higher selves. Anyways,
yeah.
Did you want to add anything else in the ailments?
I think we talked about there was another one, like the spiritual disconnection from pleasure. So unable to experience joy, pleasure, sensuality, and feeling disconnected from your own body. I mean, this is like a huge thing. Again, it's the same idea, right? We're unable to experience joy. You know, I don't know. Like, let's talk really serious and personal here. Like, how many times have I found myself in a bed with my partner, and he's like nudging, and I'm like, yo, like, leave me alone. But then you just say, okay, just to shut him up. And what the hell is that?
Going against your truth. Yeah.
You're going against your desire. Your desire has been like, no, like, you know, it's just so, I don't know. I mean, I've had such like some traumatic relationships where I've given in, and it's like, and now I'm like, no. But this is my learning experience, right? This is all of us. We've all like come face to face with, like, now I can stand back and like look at my relationship and say, OMG, like, who are you, Sabrina? Like, what did you do? Right. But I still love my Sabrina that did that. And I don't, and I've forgiven the partners who have done that, right? Because
you've forgiven yourself.
Forgiven myself. Yeah.
You forgiving yourself for allowing stuff or allowing yourself to do things you didn't want to do that's against your authenticity opens the door to forgiving, not necessarily the act, because the act is shitty anyways, but forgiving that person, and sometimes maybe even feeling gratitude for what they have done because it gave you that opportunity to love yourself even in those moments, right? That's even deeper level.
Those are like, this is that's why sexuality to me, when I was doing this, when I did the pendulum activation, I was crying like a baby because I never realized that my sacral chakra was the blockage that I was feeling a lot. I always overlooked it because of that, because I knew. So, and I look back on my partners, and my partner, there was so many lessons there, but this is the journey I chose for myself to get to this powerful place in my life. So, like, kudos to you for having to go through all of this. And I would pat yourselves on the back for having to be here where you are right now. Like, even if you're not fully, like, we're not all fully like evolved, but we're getting there.
I love all these comments, honestly. Hats off, like Sabrina says, you have to pat yourself on the back because these are not easy lessons. A lot of them are not easy lessons. They're not supposed to be. I don't believe they're supposed to be easy lessons.
Yeah. And I want to leave off one last thing, because this is something that came up with me and Katarina yesterday. Blocked creativity, inability to connect with your passion, and feeling unfulfilled or stagnant in your life. Now, that's a huge thing for a lot of people, because as we move on this journey, there's points in your life where you're like, and now what? What's my purpose in my life, Sabrina? And now what do I do? I don't even know. What should I do, Sabrina? You should just stay in the eye of the storm and freaking like trust the whole energy. Right? And you're like, fuck you, Sabrina. I'm like, well, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the stagnancy of this journey can be frustrating.
Yeah. Well,
But
yeah, because
that's
we've also been taught to go, 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 go,
go,
hustle,
go, you
hustle,
gotta
hustle,
go.
hustle, right?
You gotta go.
We're moving away from that. We're entering the more feminine era because it's been a very masculine driven era, meaning like action, do this, do that, and if you're not doing this, you're not productive. You're not constructive for the society and your family, and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, we're entering this more feminine energy where it's all about trusting. It's all about merging with the oneness that is
Nurturing yourself
this universe.
within nurturing yourself within your relationships. Nurture
Loving yourself. God damn, just loving yourself. How hard is
loving
that? How
yourself.
hard is
Exactly.
that?
That's the feminine energy. Anyways, wow.
Tabernacles.
All right.
You go on and on. So let's go to the next slide. I think you guys got the gist of it. Finally, we're getting to the Kundalini.
So yeah, you see a dormant spiritual energy coiled at the base of the spine. When awakened, it rises through the chakras, leading to profound spiritual transformation. I'm curious if any of, because the Kundalini could happen to you, and you're like, I don't know, if like, you know, when this I want to. Sabrina's all excited. So you know the way she said it's all about fire. To me, when the Kundalini happens, it's the same as a menopause. That's to me when I see when people are telling me, "Oh, I have menopause. I'm in fire, Sabrina. I can't sleep at night. I'm sweating everywhere. I got these fire bursts." I'm like, "Yo, your Kundalini is freaking active." But when I tell that to the people, they're like, "What do you mean? Like, I don't understand. What the hell is that?" It's okay though. Not everybody needs to understand, right? But that's what the Kundalini is to me. Is our menopause in this distorted world. So no need to be taking pills, no need to be doing things. That's at the moment when you're feeling those hot flashes is when I talk to my sacral chakra, and I said, "Oh, you're overactive today. What's going on?" Like, and I talk to my cells and I say, "Okay, let's like bring down the notch and the temperature here." Like, you know, and it's to have fun with it. What the hell? What does that mean?
And again, these are our opinions, and this is how we see the world. And if you're here, it's because there's some kind of attractiveness. Because at the end of the day, our body is a living organism, and you can talk with it. You can connect with it at a deeper level. So everything that we intentionally.
It's not my opinion. It's not your opinion. It's our wisdom. It's coming from me, right? I don't. Opinion to me is like bullshit. It's like an opinion, but I don't believe it's our opinion. I believe it's coming from us in deep inside. Sorry,
Yeah, but if somebody doesn't agree with that, that's okay too.
It's okay. They don't need to.
Speaking. Yeah, exactly.
They don't have to.
That's all I meant.
Exactly.
That's all I meant.
All right, sacred sexuality versus modern sexuality. And this is huge. Okay. So sacred sexuality is honoring yourself, this is a deep connection between partners. I'm going to talk about, I want to bring up tantric sex. I don't know if any of you have heard of that. I'm sure you have. But tantric sex is you don't even have to have actual penetration with tantric sex. Is you can look in each other's eyes and actually feel the whole thing, right? It's like immersing yourself in all the senses that you have, and weaving this sexual energy between partners. And it's such a like I've seen it in like I have a lot of books on that because I've studied this since I'm 20 years old. I actually tried it with my boyfriend the first time, and it was intense in the membrane, and we were laughing through it at the beginning, but then after it became really intense. And it's
I want to know more about that.
Yeah, but it's like shunned. It's like, oh, what are you doing? What do you mean? You know, that's the sacredness that we have within us. I want to bring up this, which is a little controversial for those people who are religious, but I always bring it up. Jesus Christ, which was our brother, our light worker brother, as you know, most of you know, he used to go and do sermons to people and to like share the word of God or whatever. So bad. And Mary Magdalene and him were married, contrary to your beliefs. And he would ask to have sex with her before his sermons because he wanted her sacred sexual energy, which gave him the power, which gave him the confidence, which gave him the oomph to to be able to share this. And I always love that story, and it feels really good inside me. I don't feel like it's a story. I feel like it's something that I've written in automatic writing as well. And it's like, yeah, of course, you know what? And that's like, it's triggering to people because they see sexuality as a commodity. They see sexuality as promiscuous. They see sexuality as, ooh, you know, evil or slutty or this or that. And it's not. It's power. And the divine feminine has it within her sacral chakra. And I feel like we have completely missed the boat here in this society. But everything is a distortion. So that's why they've pushed us away. They've pushed us towards modern sexuality, which is Tinder and Match.com and instant gratification. And okay, and everything is like, oh, she's a slut. Look what she's wearing. This and that. It's like, oh my God, right? Everything is taboo, sex, or they've sexualized everybody. Like I was telling Katarina a few days ago, or I've told some of you guys too, when I turn on a movie, I feel like the first thing, like they meet each other and they're already having sex with each other. I'm like, yo, man, what? Where's the connection? There's no sense of connection between people anywhere, and even in your songs. And I'm saying I'm not being like a goody two shoes here at all, because you know I've enjoyed myself there in those areas. But I just feel like there's such a diminishment, or like a of our sexual power. And you can cut in anytime. I'm talking a lot.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. I agree with everything. And we've missed the mark also in the sense that sexual energy doesn't mean necessarily sex. Sensual energy is really this capacity to feel life at its fullest. And that just means being absolutely present, to feel every single drop of rain, every single vibration, every single sound, but to actually have that sound penetrate us in a way that is true and honest, and just being in that moment. Like sensuality is enjoying your cup of tea in the most present way possible. And in this world of hustle and bustle and instant gratification, we are not able really truly in this modern day, like sexuality, sensuality comes from senses, is activating every single sense in the most present way possible. And we've almost lost this art. And this art is beautiful. And I've encountered people who talk about the sacred art of seduction. And seduction in itself has nothing to do with the end game of a lot of people, what they think it is, which is, you know, going to bed, sleeping. Yeah. Exactly.
Penetration.
The art of seduction is all about having someone feel seen and heard, having their senses be awakened by just your full-on presence to them. And that could be as simple as saying like, wow, you look great. I love how you match this coat with your socks or with your lipstick. It's just seeing the person or seeing them for who they truly are. That's what
or touching, like just a little touch, you know, it's not
the presence is like putting your hand on their shoulder and saying, I see you. You deserve to be here. You exist. You're worthy of my presence. You're worthy of being in this very moment. And this is where the energy really truly comes from. Sex is an end, like sex in itself, sexual energy that creates worlds is something else. It's part of it. It's part of this presence. It's part of this knowing yourself at a more intimate way, because nothing's more intimate than actually allowing someone to actually penetrate you, to actually allow someone to come in for us women.
I know.
Go ahead.
No, when you're done, because I have a good segue for that.
But I mean, that's pretty much it. Is it just, you don't, I saw a video recently talking about, especially women, like we need safety. If we do not feel safe, we do not feel capable of actually expressing ourselves to the fullest extent. It's different than masculine energy. Feminine energy, we need this safety. We need to feel safe, or else even in the video, he was saying how the whole interaction with men and women is not for the penetration, but really to allow a safe space for women to know themselves at an even deeper level, which for me was mind blowing. It was like, yes, that's exactly what it is. Because when you are so in tune, and like Sabrina was saying, feel so safe in this sexual like joy, it's ecstasy. It's like the ultimate joy that you can feel when you feel safe in that. You're opening up portals, you're opening up these new dimensions, because that's what it does. It creates worlds. You're actually connected, as we said in the beginning of this podcast, is that you are in union with the cosmos.
And it's like we have to take like, what I feel like in this distortion, we've taken away the virility of a man. Like, I feel like men have become these, like, that we've objectified men as well.
Yeah.
It's not only women.
Yeah,
women men are just like these, like, it's all like sex, but there's
just
a lot of men out there that want to create, be protective, and want to create safe spaces for women, and they're it's not conducive, the society, for them. They're not allowed to be like that. There have to be like these, like,
macho
sex machines and macho, and it's like, wow, man.
It's
such
the
a
modern
distortion.
day. 100%. The modern day, like, pornography has completely destroyed, and it has even shown that it's been rewiring brains, not for good.
Also, if a man ejaculates too much in his life, he decreases his count of sperm, so he can't be reproductive later. So the fact that they were aiming like younger porno was to like reduce, anyways, we don't have to go into that controversial thing, but I want to,
if you go back, I'm just gonna do a little, like, just like the Jing, which is like life force energy. Men, it's very imperative that they don't actually ejaculate, because that's, like you said, a lot of their ejaculations, and therefore they lose this life force energy, and then, like you said, later on they don't have enough of it to be sustainable. But anyways,
I want to bring this up because I have something to say here. I have often imagined closing off my energy field at the time of ejaculation by a man. I always felt it stole my life force. If it was a time I was just doing it for them, like you said earlier on. Exactly. I want to talk a little about this because this is really something important. So, since I've awakened and I've become closer to my soul and my higher self, I've learned a lot of things about this. And we are, a lot of us connect with people that are not of our vibrational match. And, you could be married 50 years with someone who is not vibrationally matched to you. And what does that mean? If you're not a vibrational match, it means that when he is like entering you, you are taking on his past sexual encounters. And if you're not vibrationally matched, then you're the one who needs to transmute all of them for like sit down, people, because for 10 years to a lifetime. So we're constantly transmuting their energy. And that's why it's so important to stand in the awareness of what you're feeling at that moment when you're with a man, and if you or a woman, whoever you're with, like, are you doing it? Are you saying yes because you want to say yes, or are you saying yes because, like, leave me alone, and then you've just kind of delayed your Kundalini awakening kind of thing. It's like you're just creating more blockage, and this is fine because we've all done this. This is our journey. But when I learned that, I was like, oh my God. Now I walk around and I'm like, is this a vibrational match for me? No. I'm like, okay, next. Anyways, it's so important. That's what I want to thank you, Jenny, for bringing that up, because what you're bringing inside you is other people's energies as well, and it depends on how many partners they've had. You're carrying that with you as well.
100%. And on the same time, I do believe the more you dive into the conscious awareness of it all, the faster you're able to transmute it all. Because once again, your body is a living organism. And if you do the due diligence and speak with it and actually sit with it in stillness and silence, which I mentioned last week, which I think it's a underrated tool that we can use, just sitting with yourself in silence and really seeing what comes up. I do believe we can transmute it energetically, just by being with it. But that's
Of
my
course,
opinion.
as we move, like we evolve, we can get it's faster and faster. Yeah, but that's like
Okay.
interesting. Anyways,
I
we're
love it.
already an hour in. Let's go.
Well, I mean, we only have 2 more slides. Was there anything else we
Oh,
wanted to add to this?
I mean, I could go on forever with this.
I know we can go on forever, but I think this is good. I think this is good. I think we've done a
Covered.
lot. I love everything that you brought up so far. So the different ways that you can actually activate and actually process a lot of this information, process all of the energies, whether it's blocked, unblocked. So one way of unblocking it would be to do creative acts such as painting, writing, dancing, cooking, knitting, anything that gets you in that creative flow. This is what will help you or activate it or unblock it, right? Healthy sexual expressions, meaning that you don't do it just because you want to do it. You do it really because it's a vibrational match. And what does that mean? It means that you feel good. You feel good in that person's presence. You feel happy in that presence. You feel like you're connected, or at least that there's a communication, right? There's an equal amount of communication. If this person is guilt tripping you into doing something you don't want, well, there's already a disconnect there, and to walk away, right? Sometimes the hardest thing we can do is say no. And this was a part of the lessons, part of the teachings. Are you able to say no, right? Eating orange. So like any other chakra, if you eat orange, like oranges,
Sweet potatoes.
there you go.
We got them all. Even I want to bring up some of these because pumpkin, of course, almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, cinnamon and vanilla and turmeric. These are all we don't realize that, but they're actually there to stimulate your senses, stimulate your creativity.
Yeah, and they're very hot herbs and foods. They're hot, and from what I understand in Ayurveda, your
Mango,
your actual
yellow, but anyways,
what's it called? Your uterus. Anyways, for women, we want that area to be warm. We want it to be hot because that's where the egg is going to be. The sperm is going to go and it's going to fertilize, and the egg needs to be warm. It needs to be. It's the same thing like a bird. Its eggs nest. They need to keep warm, right, to actually hatch. So anything like ginger is a very warm root. It's going to keep your body warm. Cinnamon as well. Turmeric as well. So anyways, just a side note.
Practice sensual self-care, like taking a bath, like whatever, there's a whole bunch of things you can do.
Slowing things down is an act of sensuality. If you slow anything down, meaning that your sensuality just means you're being more present in the moment. And the more you slow down, the more you for example, you take your hand, you caress your face, but slowly. That's you being more present, using all your senses. The more you slow things down, the more you have the room and space for your senses to see the light a little brighter, or see the light in a different shade, or feel the air, or hear those sounds. Anything that slows you down is, to me, a sensual practice.
Or, you put a pillow between your legs, do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, for sure. Wearing orange, we talked about it before.
And journaling, breath work. I mean, this is all like for everything, but this is really good way to release yourself. For me, writing is everything. So
yeah,
I mean, anything that, even like anything to do with water, that's why I said baths. But if you're near bodies of water, go swimming or just like float in water. It's the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Even a shower. You can use shower as another modality of just asking the water in your shower, can you just help me release whatever is on my mind? This excess anger. Can you help me release this excess anger?
I talk to my shower head a lot, but anyways, I talk to my water. I always talk to water. Even when I'm doing my everything, I'm always talking to water. Just made orange, turmeric, and black pepper shots. Perfect timing. Yes, of course.
Beautiful. And then the correspondence. I love Sabrina.
So zodiac, the houses are the same. Like it's Scorpio, Libra. Scorpio is all about sexual energy because the 8th house is sex, right? It's all about rebirth. It's all about like transformation, change that is happening, instead of like a lot of the blockages is fearing the change, and this is like opening it up, right, sexually. And Libra is all about relationships, so it makes sense that the both of these are together. We have our resident Scorpio here, and so she was telling me right before the podcast how people were used to make like always bring that up in high school. Oh, your sexual house, and it's funny. People are crazy. In the tarot, we have the Empress, which is our feminine energy, and we have the Lovers and the Moon and the Devil.
I find it interesting the devil's there.
But the Devil makes sense to me. I mean, it's the blocked sacral chakra. Also, the Devil is a feminine energy. It's a Capricorn, so it's kind of interesting, right?
Really? I thought Capricorn was more male.
Sexuality is the Devil, right?
Interesting. Well, it does make a lot of sense. All the taboos that we put on ourselves, whether it's sexual or not, just the self-expression, right? If we can't express ourselves, if we're adding taboos to the layers of masks and illusions that we believe exist, well, then we cannot express ourselves completely. So that makes
also the Devil is like the feelings of guilt and shame. So that's
exactly.
Yeah. The sound, I like the sound. There's like a vam. See vam chanting. If you chant vam when you're holding your section, it could vibrate and help you unblock. Also, the frequencies that you can listen to are 432 and 288. The planets are Venus and the Moon. The Venus is the feminine, the Moon is the water, and which you see as the element. And the crystals are carnelian, which are these guys. I don't know where this. Yeah, carnelian. And amber and orange calcite. I mean, I guess
orange really.
Orange at this point.
Yeah, anything that's orange really will have that same frequency. It's a vibration, right? Color is a vibration. So any other stone that has that same color will probably vibrate at the same frequency. So
and then we have essential oils, or ylang ylang, which is actually stimulates your sensuality. I looked them up. And what else? Sandalwood, it grounds your emotions and makes you calm. And the orange obviously uplifts your spirit, because orange does that. Orange, I put that everywhere. When I used to have a store, I would put orange essential oil. As soon as they walked in, it makes you buy. Did you know that, everybody?
Little tricks for all your entrepreneurs out there.
It encourages purchases.
Good to know. Good to know. And now we're going to go into our pendulum activation, Reiki and pendulum, as we do every single time. So you can start getting ready. As Sabrina's grounding, I will do a little meditation. So this is your 30-second kind of like get ready. Get ready, sheesh.
We're going to do an orange light, right?
Yes, exactly. I will add that to the meditation this time. Yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ground everybody through this meditation, and grounding and connecting meditation, creating this protective bubble on each and every one of us, which you're going to create on your own as well. You're going to see it's just going to come naturally. Don't worry about it too much. And we're going to work with the color orange this time around. And then I will connect with Sabrina to amplify this activation, which she's going to do through her pendulum. So, well, everybody is slowly getting ready. You can start closing your eyes and taking a couple of deep, long breaths in and out. And when you're at your third long, deep breath, you can start visualizing roots from the soles of your feet going down, down, down towards Mother Earth's heart, towards her beating center. Just taking a couple of minutes here to really ground this energy, wrapping your roots gently around her magmatic sphere. And if you can visualize a beautiful orange shimmering light. And with a deep breath in, allowing this energy to go up, 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 hitting the soles of your feet, going up your legs, up your spine, maybe just amplifying this sacral chakra, which is located 2 inches below the navel, allowing it to completely fill up your whole body and allowing this energy to overflow the top of your head, creating this sphere and bubble of pure, joyful, protective light up and around your body, allowing these energies to gently be released, to make room for everything that your soul truly desires. Making room for things you didn't even know you wanted or even thought you deserved. Really settling in to this energy, to her love, to her wealth, her abundance. Settling into gratitude. And allowing the breaking through and breaking free from all the taboos, whether they're self-imposed or externally imposed. And when you're ready, visualizing a channel of light from the top of your head going up, 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 hitting the sun of all suns. And with one long, deep breath in, visualizing this beautiful golden shimmering light going down, 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 amplifying this sphere of protection, allowing this energy to fill every single inch of your body, every single cell, allowing it to completely be what it needs to be, release what it needs to release at this very moment. And as you guys are slowly settling in, I will allow Sabrina to do what she's got to do best.
All right. My intention is to clear and heal the sacral chakra for the collective, restoring balance, creativity, and emotional harmony. May this session release all blockages, fears, and low density energies that hinder the free flow of passion, pleasure, and connection to one's true self. Cleanse and release all stored emotional pain, trauma, and low energy experiences from the sacral chakras of the collective. Dissolve any barriers that prevent the healthy expression of emotions and creativity. Heal and harmonize the sexual energy of the collective, allowing for a balanced, healthy, and joyful experience of intimacy and pleasure. Remove any guilt, shame, or fear associated with sexuality. Revitalize the sacral chakras of the collective, reigniting the spark of creativity and passion. Open the channels of inspiration, artistic expression, and the pursuit of joyful activities. Restore emotional balance and stability. Replace mood swings, anxiety, and emotional numbness with peace, joy, and the ability to feel and express emotions freely. Clear any patterns of addictive or compulsive behavior from the sacral chakras of the collective. Strengthen the collective sense of self-worth and the ability to set healthy boundaries. Remove any feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness that block the free flow of energy in the sacral chakra. Anchor the creative energy of the sacral chakra in the physical world, allowing the collective to manifest their creative visions and passions into reality. Thank you, universal energy. Thank you, pendulum. Thank you, higher self. Thank you, Katarina, for the meditation. And thank you all for being here with us. The collective sacral chakras are clear, balanced, and harmonized. May this energy bring creativity, emotional wellness, and joyful expression to all. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you. And we are done.
Slowly come back. Let us know if you want in a comment section how that was, if you were fully awake. It's crazy. For me, the first thing that I saw when I tapped into your energy was just the Kundalini, like the snake, just rising up. I just saw it going up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And then I just saw a flame, like a huge flame engulfing your whole body. So
amazing.
It's for me, the sacral is always fire, but it's like, I don't know.
It is. It's kind of passion and, you know.
Probably. So I find it interesting that it's water, but it makes sense that it's water because water is emotion. And anyway, fire creates steam with water too, right? So it's like the water going into the fire, creating steam maybe. Anyway, it's amazing. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn, for that feedback.
Amazing. This was great. I know. And like I said at the beginning,
Welcome, Jenny.
These energies, these activations, like may not happen to you right now. You might be like, oh, there's nothing. But it might, like, as you sleep, as your body becomes more still, it might like start to activate, and it takes days and hours and weeks sometimes. And that's why there's all this, it's really blocking that stifled energy, right? So give it the time it needs. And every week you're here, if you're every week you're here, then, oh my God, you're fully activating your body, right? So, you know, be patient with this.
Exactly. It's a ripple effect. It's going to go in your body exactly when and how it's supposed to and when it's supposed to as well. So you might feel little tinglings right now, but then who knows, maybe something is just going to unblock and you're going to have huge waves of emotions, and just go with it. Just be with it, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Thank you. Thank you. It was amazing. Thank you so much for being here, man. Everyone is like amazing.
Yeah.
Your energy, I feel your guys' energy is so beautiful. Like it's something else. I love it.
Yeah. I love how Lori is saying, I'll do it again. Yes. And that's another thing. You can do these as many times as you want. Go ahead. It's just be mindful also that every time you do it, you're activating a deeper sense, a deeper, and maybe something that's even more ingrained and something that's even more at the core, right?
Love you too. We love you. We love you. You're great. You're great. Thank you.
Yes.
This is a big thing. This is a big one. Sexual energy. He's like, yeah. Oh, good.
Did you read it? My pendulum was going crazy during that. I love that.
But you're not supposed to be doing your pendulum, Lynn. During that, you're supposed to be like focusing, but it's okay.
She's holding her pendulum while she's focusing. Like the pendulum's getting an activation too. Amazing.
We love these podcasts too. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Yes, we love doing them. And the more feedback we get, the more like it just proves to us that this is what you guys need. This is what everybody needs. It's just these moments, right? These information. So yes, give us all the feedback. And if there's anything else you guys want us to add, right now we're doing the chakra series, but soon we're gonna need another idea. So
we do. Lynn gave us an idea. We're gonna do the zodiacs.
Oh yeah, it's true. Amazing.
We're gonna do it every week, a different zodiac sign. Explore it and have fun with it.
So now that we've done the sacral, the next would be the throat chakra. So next week we're going to talk about that. Since we already done the sacral, we did it with the Lion's Gate. So the Lion's Gate, if you want to go back to it, it was like 2 weeks ago.
We did the sacral and the heart.
In the heart too, exactly. So you can go back to that, do those activations once again. It's great because you have a 2-in-1 whammy, you know, so you don't have to do each individually. And then we're going to talk about the throat chakra this time around, which is also self-expression, but it's slightly different than the sacral. Sacral is really about self-expression in a creative way and also in a more loving, self-loving way. Throat chakra is also in a creative way, but it's really in a way of like, how could I say it?
It's like it's your voice.
It's a big part of your voice. It's a big part of your voice, but it goes even beyond, because the sacral is also speaking your truth. And the throat could be more than just voice. You can speak your truth through your works of art, your painting, but it's like that one step forward of, because you can, in the sacral, to me, I see it like, as long as you're being truthful with yourself, you don't necessarily need to vocalize it out in the external. The throat chakra is like, no, now you have to vocalize it. Now you have to speak your truth. Now you have to act upon what you're saying. If you're saying you want to be authentic, well, you got to be authentic, right? You got to show your authenticity. So that's where I feel like the polarity is a little.
The throat chakra is Taurus.
There you go. But we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into that next week. Interesting information. Oh, thank you, Kim.
Excellent.
Amazing woman.
We had some takeaways, but we don't really have any takeaways right now.
Well, I had questions, but I think we asked them throughout the thing. Like, you know, we don't need to.
Well, what are they? Sure.
How do you channel your creativity? You know, are you able to fully express yourself, your creativity, and your personal power to the world? And what would that look like? You know. And are you comfortable with sex? Is it a physical need or is it more a profound need? So that's how do you express your emotions within relationships? And that's it. The other one, we don't have to do it. Right? But it's really about how we're sharing ourselves and how, like, to me, I feel the key takeaway is to really embody this sexuality, this sensuality, this creativity within ourselves and see it as our power, the power that the divine feminine embodies, and to really learn to connect with it and not feel guilty or not feel shameful about it. And that's the full expression. It's express yourself however it is within your partnerships, with intimacy, with friends, whatever it is. That I feel like there's this a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to that. We're what?
Nothing. Continue. I was just gonna say, like, be like a kid. Like a kid literally expresses themselves in every creative matter, whether it's through their movements, whether it's through their thoughts, through their emotions. They're there expressing themselves at every single moment. They're in the present moment all the time, right? Can you do that too? Can you express yourself in every single moment, that truth that is you, whether you're angry or sad? And that doesn't mean you go and you throw yourself on the floor. Maybe it is, who knows? But it doesn't mean you hurt people. But can you express and be like, I'm angry right now, and that's okay. I need a moment. I need a moment right now. I'm angry. Talk to me in 5 minutes, right?
But also, can you take that anger and do something creative with it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like channel your emotions, those mood swings, channel that energy into something creative. Like I do, like sometimes I doodle. I'm a doodler, and people, when I was younger, used to make fun of me. Oh, you're like everywhere. Your head is everywhere else. And I was like, no.
Channel it how though? You kind of blocked. What was the last thing you said? Channel your energy how?
Doodling.
Ah, very cool. And then what about you just not doodle, but you created something?
Collages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show
Oh,
us.
I didn't do it for the sacral chakra. This is from my Lionsgate, but that's what I do. I create collages,
I love them so much.
and that's how I like. Anyways, I saw you posted this, so I thought I would be. Oh, it's your friend. Okay, we're having friend talks.
Thank you.
Welcome to the
Lynn.
community, Kim.
You
All
guys
right.
are amazing too. All your feedback every time you interact. I
So
love
next
it
week,
so
throat
much.
chakra.
So throat chakra next week, guys. So we'll see you all next week, whether it's live or on the replay.
Yeah, and come and join.
Ciao.
Yeah. All right.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.